Hey guys, this is Lim with Lim Reviews, and today we'll be checking out the Huawei P30 against the Xiaomi Mi 9. So I did my review on both these devices, where you can find it in my links below. And a lot of people have been asking me like, which is the better device? Should you guys buy the Huawei P30 I have here in my left hand, or should you guys go for the Xiaomi Mi 9? Well, let's go through this quick comparison to find out which device is more suitable for you. So first things first, let me share with you guys the price I got both these devices for. So I got the Huawei P30 here in China for about 4,000 RMB, which is about 595 US dollars. On the contrary, I got the Mi 9 here for about 3,700 RMB in China, and that is equivalent to about 550 US dollars. So as you can see, the Mi 9 here is slightly cheaper than the Huawei P30. It is about 50 bucks cheaper, and to some people that matters a lot. So for what it's worth, the P30 here is the more expensive device. Moving on, let's just talk quickly about the specifications. So you guys probably already know the specs for both the P30 and the Mi 9. But what's worth noting is that both devices are using the flagship processor. This is using the Kirin 980 and this is using the Snapdragon 855. So both devices comes with 8GB of RAM, but the P30 I have in hand comes with just 64GB of internal memory, whereas the Mi 9 here comes with 256GB of internal memory. So as we can see here, you start to feel a trend that the Mi 9 is actually giving you more for your money. But let's find out further which device is really for you. Moving on, I want to show you guys the design of both devices. So let's just put the Mi 9 down for a second. Let's just take a quick look at the Huawei P30. So this P30 comes in this really nice color here. I really like this color combination. As for the Mi 9, we have the transparent edition here, which looks really cool. So I've been told that the parts inside are not actual parts, but rather some kind of stickers. And if you look really closely, you might actually find that that is true. But it still looks really good here. It is so cool, and you actually seldom see a device that comes with a transparent edition. I know the Mi 8 does comes with it, and the Mi 9 follows up with a really nice back design. So one thing I also noticed is that both devices also comes with the similar notch at the top. So they both come with this very small U-shaped notch, and yeah, the chins here are pretty similar as well. So again, just talking about the design again, let me just show you guys around. So from the back, you can see here that the Mi 9 has a larger footprint, and at the sides here, you can notice that because of these curves that curve slightly more, you get a slightly slimmer profile on the Mi 9. So both cameras actually stick out pretty much, as you can see right now. And moving on to the top, you can see that both comes with this microphone at the top, and this comes with an additional IR blaster. If you move on to the bottom here, you see that both are using the USB Type-C port, but the P30 actually comes with the headphone jack, so that is definitely for you guys out there who still uses the headphone jack. Anyways, design wise, that's about it. Again, like I said, it is up to you guys to choose which you actually prefer. So next, let's move on to the displays. So the displays here is, as you can see again, it's very obvious that the display on the P30 is slightly smaller than the display on the Mi 9. So in terms of size, you guys really have to choose which you prefer, if you like a smaller footprint or a slightly larger footprint. But in terms of screen quality, you guys can see here very clearly that both has similar viewing angles, and you can see the screen very clearly from any angle. So it doesn't really matter like which direction you are looking at the device at. But what's worth noting here is that the P30 actually comes with a slightly more saturated and more contrast display. So I'm not sure if you guys can see through the camera lens right now, but the display on the P30 is slightly more saturated and has slightly darker blacks. So apart from that, both displays are really great. Alright guys, so moving on, let's talk about the in-display fingerprint scanner. So a lot of you guys have been asking like which fingerprint scanner is actually quicker. So let's just do a quick test right now. On the left again, I have the Huawei P30, and on the right is the Mi 9, just in case you guys get confused. So let's test it out. And as you can see, both are rather quick. So the speeds here are rather similar. I wouldn't say that one is actually faster than the other. Let me just show you guys again. There. So as you can see, it is rather quick and it doesn't really get too much mistakes. So unless your finger is like wet or something, then you may get a few misses. But otherwise, the fingerprint scanner here is pretty good. Alright, so now that we've got the fingerprint scanner out of the way, let's talk about the performance on both these devices. So of course, the first thing we do here is the AnTuTu benchmark, and let me just show you guys the results. So some of you may already know that the Mi 9 here is actually the king of the benchmark scores right now. And as you can see, we actually got a really high 374,000 compared to the P30's 313,000. So it is a very far away. I mean, the distance between both these devices is pretty far. And if you go into the details here, you can see that the Mi 9 outscores the P30. So let's just check out the rankings. When you go to rankings, you'll find that the Mi 9 sits at the top of the pie. Of course, you have the Galaxy S10 and S10 Plus also below the score got by the Mi 9. And the P30 is not too far away. I wouldn't say that it is a very poor device because it still got a very respectable 9th place here in the ranking tables. So at least it is both in the top 10. But the Mi 9 here absolutely crushes the competition in terms of benchmark scores. So if you guys follow my videos in my previous reviews, you guys know that I'm not a fan of benchmark scores. But let me just show you guys what real world use is like on both these devices. So I have my similar apps here lined up, and let's just go through each app quickly. So let's just get that. So as you can see, let's just launch both these applications. As you can see, they're pretty much the same. So let's just go into that. The calendar, the camera is very important. Let's try that again. So you can see that both launches at the same speed. If you really want to compare, you might actually feel that the P30 is a bit faster, but yeah, they're very similar. So let's go to gallery and let's check out the gaming, because usually it's games that actually cause these devices to slow down. So let's just go to PUBG right there. So let's see which device launches quicker. And there you have it, the Mi 9 is done. Come on P30, we're waiting for you. Okay, 5 seconds has passed. 10 seconds has passed. Oh my god. Come on P30. Alright, there you go. So the P30 is about 15 seconds slower than the Mi 9 to launch PUBG. So let's go out to the main menu again and let's try another game. Come on. Alright, so I have the let's just reset everything again before we go to the next speed test. I have this Mobile Legends equivalent application here. Let's just hit that. Okay, so for this, it looks like both are very similar. And there you have it. So, oh, I'm sorry about that volume, but there you have it. Both devices are pretty quick. The Mi 9 slightly edges the P30 in terms of the PUBG, but overall I would say that both devices are really quick and you wouldn't experience any lags or delays with both devices. So performance wise, I'll give both devices a thumbs up, but of course the Mi 9 still gets that slight edge. Alright guys, moving on, let's talk about the cameras on this device. So as you guys know, the P30 is advertised heavily to be like the zoom king, but let's check out the normal shots taken by Alright guys, so there you have it, samples from both these devices. I guess at this point, picture quality and the kind of results that you get from these cameras is really down to your personal preference, because some people prefer like cooler images while some prefer warmer images. I would say that both these devices comes with great cameras, but of course the P30 here slightly edges in terms of that amazing zoom. So if you are the kind of person who likes to zoom in on stuff, I don't really know what you would like to zoom in on, but the P30 will definitely give you that super zoom capabilities. Alright guys, so moving on from the cameras, let's see what we got to talk about next. Let's talk about the speakers on both these devices. So I've tested out the speakers. Both of these devices have single firing speakers, but the one on the P30 is slightly better in terms of clarity. So what I mean by that is that both devices have very loud volumes. They both go to very, very high volumes. But when you talk about the section where the singer actually sings, the clarity on the P30 is actually better than the one on the Mi 9. So at the end of the day, I would give the slight edge to the P30. Another thing that the P30 has is that headphone jack. So as you guys know, the Mi 9 doesn't come with the headphone jack. So again, the edge goes to the P30. Last but not least, guys, let's talk about the battery on both these devices. So the P30 comes with a slightly larger battery. Despite its smaller size, it is a 3650 mAh battery compared to the 3300 mAh battery on the Mi 9. But that doesn't matter. What matters is the charging speeds, right? So let me just put these guys down for a second and show you guys the massive chargers that came in a box. So this is the 27 watt charger by Mi 9 and the 22 watt charger that comes with the P30. So both these chargers are able to charge these devices in like crazy quick times. The P30 here takes about 66 minutes to go from 0 to 100%, whereas the Mi 9 here takes just 59 minutes to go from 0 to 100%. But of course, like I mentioned earlier, this comes with a bigger battery. So I did the calculation, and at the end of the day, the Mi 9 is able to get like 55.9 mAh per minute, whereas the P30 comes with 55.3 mAh per minute. So at the end of the day, the charging speeds are very, very close. They're almost identical. So what about the screen on time? The screen on time on the P30, even though it comes with a larger battery, is only 8.5 hours compared to the 10 hours of screen on time that I got on the Mi 9. So at the end of the day, I would say that the Mi 9 here really excels in terms of battery life. Not only does it charge up really quickly, but it also gives you more screen on time than the P30, which has a larger battery. Alright guys, so now that we've put both the Huawei P30 and Mi 9 through its paces, the ultimate question here is which device is for you? Should you go with the Huawei P30 or should you go with the Xiaomi Mi 9? Well, the thing is that both these devices are great devices for your money. They both come with excellent performance, great cameras, very, very good battery life, and that amazing quick charge. So, which should you choose? Well, in this case, you should go with the Huawei P30 if you prefer the smaller screen and a smaller footprint. I know some of you guys like that. You should also go with the Huawei P30 if you like that really, really impressive zoom camera, the fact that it has a headphone jack, a slightly better AMOLED display, and slightly better speakers. On the other hand, if you guys are really focused on which device gives you the better overall value, you should go for the Mi 9. The Mi 9 comes with a lower price point. It's also the king of benchmark scores and performance. It comes with a higher internal memory, wireless charging, a better battery life, and that super cool transparent display that I've shown you guys earlier on. So both these devices are really amazing devices, and it really is up to you on which device you would really prefer. If you ask me, I might actually go with the Xiaomi Mi 9. So anyways, that's it for this video. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment sections below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!